Alright guys, hello and welcome back to another Room 2 online video. In this one, not even my first one at in 1080p. Now that I finally got smart and figured out how to do it. And it would also be my first 60 frames per second video. So hopefully this looks pretty good. I also have an awesome replay today, as you can tell by the name. I gotta say, this was a pretty fun match to play as. It was a pretty close game too. Now in this match, I am playing as Parthia. My opponent is playing as Baktria. Now, I admit both of us probably didn't bring very good builds. Neither of us did. However, I think I had the better army. However, he definitely used his better than I did. Then I used mine. So now we're here in the match. I brought 5 Parthian swordsmen. I brought 2 Eastern cataphracts. I should make that 3 Eastern cataphracts and then 1 Royal cataphract as my general. I brought 2 Median cav. 4 Parthian foot archers. And then I accidentally brought 1 elite Persian archer. And really, this won't be a problem. However, elite Persian archers have 5 less damage than a Parthian foot archer. These guys get taken out pretty quick anyway, so it doesn't make much of a difference. But if it bothered me after all, because it's like, why is this unit card different? Oh wait. And with massive volleys, these archers can do in that 5 amount of can get in. That 5 damage could cause some difference. However, actually, it's more important against high armored people. Because against the low armored units, it's not going to cause so much of a difference. So my opponent, he brought 2 Bactrian Royal Guard, 2 Scale Thorax Hoplites, which by the way, they look pretty cool, except the gold ones. I don't like how they look. And 2 Thuriospheres. And then 2 Eastern Spearmen. I believe 2 Citizen Cav, yes. 2 Hellenic Cataphracts, 2 Thorax Swordsmen, and a Bactrian Royal Cavalry. So now, basically, I was basically sitting here at this video watching his army, and then I just kept moving my cav up, and I completely forgot to actually bring them around the other side. And then this happened. Oh, crap. And I believe in a second or two I finally noticed my mistake. Yeah, there's my Median cav. I turned my cataphracts around. Turned my cavalry on this side around. Now, I have gotten around the back, which is very good. However, his weird build kind of comes into place here to where he has quite a bit of spear units. And those Eastern Spearmen, those Thuriospheres, are pretty quick. The Bactrian Royal Guard, not so much. However, if you can actually get in the fight with this Bactrian Royal Guard, they're going to cause a lot of damage, and they will continue to if they leave them in too long. They're a big threat to my cataphracts. Now, it just so happens that the first one he charges into is my elite Persian archers, which these guys actually have spears. So if anything, I was actually pretty lucky to charge into these guys first. You know what? This was completely intentional. I meant to do this. However, he also charged his Hellenic Cataphracts in these Parthian swordsmen. Now, initially, he did get quite a few kills on the charge. However, with any shot cavalry, and especially cataphracts, if you leave them in melee for too long, then they'll start losing. Now, I charged my Median cav into his cataphracts, mostly just to pin him down. His stamp ran off, and now he's exhausted, and now there he goes, trying to pull through his cataphracts. Let's see, now his cataphracts are dropping, Eastern Spearmen coming in. Now the main battle line is coming through. He charged his Bactrian Royal Cavalry right in front of my Parthian swordsman. He actually tried to do a little pull through back to my archers. I agree with that move. It was a pretty good one. I didn't get too many kills with any of my archers. Dude, I probably should have kept my Median cav in the back. At least 1 or 2 of them. My Eastern Spearman, I believe he got clobbered by a cataphract. One of my Median cav gets caught right here. However, that means I do tie down one of his Thorax swordsmen. I have my Royal Cataphract and my Eastern Cataphract coming in. They got some kills already. Decided to go charging straight into the Thuriospheres, and since they're on fire at will, they will not be braced. Charge through, get a good amount of kills. There you go, his Hellenic Cataphracts are getting trashed. I actually never noticed these guys came back. Probably would have been a better idea if I charged them into this fight back here, or actually even this one. Due to the spears they have, he's engaging his Bactrian guard against my Parthian swordsman. However, since he ran his troops all the way over here, and he may have used an ability at some point. I don't think so. His troops are exhausted, and now my Parthian swordsman, which probably would originally lose, well, maybe they're still losing. However, now they're having a much better chance. Now this other Parthian swordsman, I got it free, so I'm bringing it around here to get coming around the back. Here we go. He actually does catch two of my cataphracts here, which is not good. And I keep pulling back. Here I have 2 more of my cataphracts charging against this Theriosphere. However, some of the horses were still engaged, so I didn't get a good charge on all of my units. Alright, at this point, there's just too many Theriospheres, and I can just clean them up. Alright, I decide not to, and I just go right through the middle anyway, and he forms a square formation. I would agree with that move. For momentarily, forming the square is probably going to be the best idea. However, I chose not to charge back in the back and hit them again. Activate Trample. That charge right back in that Bactrian Royal Guard. Whereas Bactrian Royal Cavalry makes another charge in the back of my units. However, I do run around and catch up this Parthian swordsman. Never underestimate how good sword units can do against a cav fight. His cavalry are good and all, but if they get bogged down against someone they can't, might bog down against units they can't fight, like they're just so outnumbered, then they're going to start losing. Although this Bactrian Royal Cavalry is still putting a very, very good job. They're still winning for the most part. However, they also were plants on their back, so I think that's another reason for them to lose. Here we go, I'm bringing this Eastern Cataphract back. I think I brought all the way back to get out of the way. Some unmanned cataphracts run away because I lost one of my cataphract units. Again, those thorax swordsmen, I just got a good charge into them. Caused a lot of damage. Now I need to move them away. However, now since I use Trample, all my cataphracts are exhausted. Here we go. This Parthian swordsman is beating this Theriosphere because Theriospheres really aren't meant to go toe to toe in a battle line. They have, okay stats, but nothing against the cataphract charge or a Parthian swordsman. He brings a scale thorax hoplite around, which this was definitely a good idea on his part. I actually activated Trample for this, which against the Theriosphere probably wasn't the best idea, especially since it was my one cataphract that wasn't very tired, wasn't exhausted yet. So I send my Parthian swordsman to go against these scale thorax hoplites. Now these Parthian swordsmen have over 200 kills, and a good bit of them are cav. So I bring my Parthian swordsman in to join this fight. Not to lose another one of my cataphracts, as he used his general fear abilities on there. He brought one of his thorax swordsmen here, however, they just kind of sat right there. There you go, he's charging this fight. However, a better idea would have been not to keep sending him in this way. I'll actually loop him around, or as he did, actually send him in here. Because his thorax swordsman, his Bactrian Royal Guard's in the way, and his thorax swordsman can't really get any kills. So there we go. Bactrian Royal Cavalry is about to go down. Now it's really coming down to the wire here. About to lose another of my Parthian swordsmen. Now at this point I thought I was done. I thought that there's no way I could win at this point. Where my Parthian swordsmen here, both units are losing. However, my Parthian swordsmen are winded and have a higher weapon damage than the Bactrian Royal Guard. And now I actually start cleaving right through, right? And I still have a cataphract unit. Which is Eastern cataphracts really do come to play a role, and I get a lot more better surrounds. Here we go, I got another surround this Bactrian Royal Guard. I pull my cataphracts through this way. Because you want to attack a unit from where you can get most of the damage done. Most of the thorax swordsmen are back here, so I believe that's what I do. I either charge right into the thorax swordsman or right to the scale thorax hoplites. Because right now, all units are good. Eastern cataphracts are always good on the charge. They generally won't kill too many of them on the charge. And yes, did you guys see the turn on that horse? I saw when I was actually doing the match. I thought it was weird. So I charged in the scale thorax hoplite. Got a couple kills. He is losing decisively, however I do not want to stay in too long of a duel with those units, because as you see, just said we're winning for a second, so I don't want to fight these hot potatoes for a long time. I basically just want to keep hammering anvil and strike with my cataphracts. And as you see, sometimes this will actually happen. I'm going to pause it here real quick, to where if some of our units are engaged, some of the horses, if some of the men in a unit are engaged, and some of the soldiers near it, they won't actually go in for a charge. They'll just like try and walk up to it. As you can see, there was a big group over here that was close, that was pretty far away. So for them, it was good to do the charge. So I'll hit play again. Over here, see right there, they didn't even do the charge. See, they don't have their lances out, and if they don't have their lances out, that means they're not going in for a charge. They're just walking up because there's already some of them engaged over here. However, I am about to lose this Parthian swordsman, and this one definitely made out for itself. The 200 kills in that Parthian swordsman, and experience definitely played a big role in this because it boosted up its melee attack and weapon defense. I actually had enough for another trample because it had gone on long enough. And I believe right before I get the good charge from the original one, the Skelthorax Hopatates, it runs out. The Historic Swordsman also did pretty well, and these Skelthorax Hopatates also did pretty good for what they were paid for. Depends on what units were killed. Actually, for these, it was mostly cataphracts. However, killing cataphracts is always a good idea. So actually, since these have a pretty good amount of cataphract kills, I would definitely say that, yeah, those Skelthorax Hopatates were well. As you can see, we're down to 1 Thorax Swordman, 1 Skelthorax Hopatate, 1 Eastern Cataphract, and 1 Parthian Swordman. However, the main thing is I definitely have the cavalry advantage, and since I can just keep cycle charging over and over, and as his units keep getting more and more exhausted and the morale drops, I can just keep charging in and in. But you notice I didn't actually get any kills in the charge because they're just moving so slow and being exhausted. Here I'm just about to manage to route Skelthorax Hopatate and it routes, and now at this point I know I can just run and just send in my cataphracts in to fight this Thorax Swordsman. However, always a good idea, try not to get too overconfident. I back him up anyway so I can get another charge in. And although he is beating my Parthian Swordsman, at this point it doesn't really matter since my cataphracts, I'm just waiting for them to move around here so I can get a good back charge. So an overall pretty fun match. It was really good to play with. My opponent had really good unit control. I had very bad picking and right archer control, and actually I'm gonna pause what I did right there. At this point, if you're about to get back charged by cataphracts, don't turn around. That's a good idea, but don't try and charge them. Because if you try and charge them, you break up your formation, and you basically, at that point, you're basically a sitting duck. Actually, no, it would have been better if you'd be a sitting duck. If you do that, then now they're already moving, they're not braced at all, and they're just going to get trampled like you did. Here we go. Thorax Swordsman moves indecisively. They actually go on the shield wall, which at this point not going to do anything. My Eastern Cataphract is winning decisively. This Parthian Swordsman fighting evenly, and there we go. Rounds, and I win. Costly victory. Let's look at all the stats of everyone's units. I actually brought less than men with him. However, yeah, sorry for that, guys. I brought less than with him, mostly because I brought more, actually, wow, I did bring less men than him. Probably because of the archers, and I brought 6 cavalry units. Now, let's look at the unit efficiency. As you can see, these 2 Parthian swordsmen didn't get too very good. However, they definitely were made up by these 2 other Parthian swordsmen in this one too. Never underestimate, even Parthian swordsmen are not the greatest swords unit ever. However, they're pretty good. They're decent. And as you can see, if you use them the right way and put them in the right engagements, they can definitely cause a lot of damage and have the right supporting units. See, my Royal Cataphract only gets 17 kills, so it didn't do much. Or my other Cataphracts got almost all three of them got over 150 kills. This one got 146. My mediating cav did horrible. I got almost no kills, and to be fair, one of them, they probably caused some HP damage. However, I should have kept one of them in the back to protect my line. And the other one I was using, although it probably wasn't very cost effective, definitely using it as a something to hold on to my enemy's army. That citizen cav got 200 kills purely from skirmishers. So you definitely, even these low cost cav, you get them against skirmishers, they're going to cause a lot of damage. 270 kills on his Baktria and Real Cavalry. Again, only 18 kills on that Hellenic Cataphract and 83 on this one. Not too very useful. That's why you always want to cycle charge your Cataphracts as often as you can. You don't want to charge them in and just leave them there. 50 kills on that Thorat Swordsman, 134 in that one. Decent. And Baktria and Royal Guard really didn't make up for anything, but they're spear units, so don't expect too much. Scale Thorax Habitate, only one of them really did anything. 2 Thurio Spears. They did good HP damage, definitely against the Cataphracts, however they didn't get too many kills themselves. And then there's Eastern Spearmen, where... How did that one get... Oh, I think you already had that one chevron. 29 kills, I'm surprised you got any. So guys, I hope you liked the battle. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!